Hello, hello, hello. Good to see everybody. Good to see everyone. Miss Justice, number one. Much love and prayers, PG. Much love to you, girl. Number one in here tonight. And Sue, number two. Hey, that kind of rhymes. Sue, number two. Hey, APG, Purple Hearts for Summer. God bless. Good to see you, girl. The legendaries, number three. All right. There we go. And she says, hey, friends, it's PG time. Purple Hearts for Summer. God bless. And Ruby Rainmaker, you are number four. Hello, PG in chat. Much, much love. Purple Hearts for Summer. God bless, girl. God bless. Okay, let PG get down through here and see who else we got in here tonight. Hey, D, my fragile little mind. Caroline, how you doing, sweetie? Raven, how you doing? There's Sympathy. How you doing? She says, good evening, Mama PG. Good evening to you. Good evening to you, sweetie. God's blessings. Oh, that is beautiful. I like that name. I like that name. Hello, new here. Hello, hello, hello. Good to see you. Welcome to Summer's channel. Hey, Patty, how you doing, sweetie? And there's Anna. APG, much love. Purple Hearts for Summer. God bless. As I told everybody, we've been working behind the scenes, talking to people behind the scenes. A lot. I have a very good friend, a very, very good friend that I communicate with quite a bit. And this particular, they want to stay anonymous, and I'm going to keep them anonymous. But I have a very, very good friend that I communicate with almost on the daily, and they have helped a lot where Summer's case is concerned. They have been like God sent to PG. Almost like a right hand, to be honest. And a very, very nice person. Very, very nice. Very beautiful soul. Absolute beautiful soul. Beautiful family. Beautiful family. Beautiful soul. And anyway, we kind of bounce things off of each other. This person is highly intelligent, able to let me see things I usually don't see. And I throw some things back that, that he's like, oh yeah, I think neither one of us seen that. Right? But, it's what we do. And we have been able to, correspond and get a lot of information out here for Summer. I also am corresponding right now with Fred Hill. I've been corresponding with Fred Hill for quite a minute now. I text with him. I have one-on-one chatted and talked with Fred. Fred has been very helpful as far as the areas in Tennessee, basically, he's like a human map, to different areas and places and so on and so forth, which is a lot of help, with the Ben Hill Road area because, no, I do not live inside of Ben Hill Road. I do not live, in that community. So, with that being said, you know, um, and others do not live, you know, within that area either. So, um, Summer does have an army behind the scenes. She does have a big army behind the scenes. People always willing to, step up and step out for Summer, um, or whatever, might be needed. Um, I had someone else, hit me up and offering to, help out and do whatever is, needed for Summer's sake as well. So we have a lot of beautiful people out here, and trust me, each and every one of you are greatly appreciated. Everyone in this chat is greatly appreciated. Everyone congregating behind the scenes for this child is greatly appreciated. Um, I wish Summer could, if she only knew, right? And maybe she does. I think possibility she does. I definitely believe that Summer knows how loved she is down here. I believe that, God lets her understand, that this world really did love her, and she was just in an isolation of people, evil people, where she was feeling no love, no help, no care. But I think he's letting her know that the general population upon this earth, is very beautiful human beings that greatly love her. Once we learned about her, we didn't know about her to love her before, but we do now. And she is very much loved. But I think if she knew how hard, how hard we're working, how hard we're praying and everything, she would really, really be amazed. And I know she would appreciate everything that everyone's trying to do. She wants to be found. Of course she does. And we're doing all we can to get that done. I understand that a tip went in to law enforcement. I don't know. I'm just hearing that a tip went into law enforcement, and they are following the lead. Now, where it will lead, I cannot say. What the tip was, well, I don't know that either. Um, so, and if I did, I probably still wouldn't be at liberty to tell it anyhow while they're following it. So, but her case is being pursued, and the one thing that I do know is Summer's case is sporadic. It's very sporadic. They get information that they're following, and the person turns tail on them. What I'm saying is they get good leads, but when they get there, the person is, the fear and anxiety or whatever it is, or maybe their love for the, um, person they're tipping on, um, is greater than wanting to proceed with the truth to law enforcement. So, you got a lot going on in this particular child's case. Um, and, but these leads are coming in. They're legible enough to follow. You just don't know where, where it's going and how it's going to turn out. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you understand what I'm saying. Pinocchio, appreciate that. All right, became a YouTube member. All right, God bless. God bless, Pinocchio. Good to see you. But yeah, hey, beautiful PG Mods chat. Much love. Hey, Carrie, much love to you. Prayers and much love. Purple hearts and prayers for Summer. Amen. Oh wow, I appreciate that, Pinocchio Prayer Garden. Thanks for being Summer Strong. Hey, I appreciate all of you being Summer Strong. Couldn't do it without you. Couldn't do it without you. Um, Andy B says, I seen your friend. You seen my friend? So you saw my friend Andy? Is that what you're saying? You saw my friend? Did you see me, Andy? Was you able to see PG? Was you able to see me? If you saw my friend, did you see me? I was just wanting to know. Did you see me? Riddle me that, Andy. Riddle me that. After all, didn't see you. Yeah, I know. Because you got seen. You got seen. You're not very good at sneaking up on people. Right? You're not very good at sneaking up on folks, Andy. Not at all. You got seen too. Right? Andy, let me ask you a question. And this is a hard one. This is a very hard one. Listen, you could see my friend, right? You could see my friend. Why couldn't you see what happened to Summer? I mean, you knew right when somebody was up there at that cemetery. Why did you not know what happened to Summer? I mean, clearly, you chasing people into the graveyard, right? You chasing people into the graveyard. You then that means you guys patrol. You patrol everything there on Ben Hill Road. Nobody came in there and took Summer, Andy. You proved that. You proved that when you were creeping up. When you was creeping up on who's in the graveyard. Right? Yeah. No. No. You guys are very, very vigilant up there on that place. You guys are some coherent motherfuckers when it comes to Ben Hill Road. And you can't tell me, thank you, sweetie. Okay. You can't tell me that you did not see what went down on Ben Hill Road June 15th, 2021. You all know everything. You know anytime someone moves, right? So, that's a test, Andy, and the testimony is yes, you guys sneak up on everybody. You got somebody either notifying you or you're there with your eyeballs open all the time. Something's going on up there because some other YouTubers were there just not too long ago and you were all over them as well. You knew they were there. Anytime Dolly was up there, you knew he was there. You guys know everything up inside Ben Hill Road. And you want us to believe that a little girl comes up missing and nobody knows shit? That is bullshit. You guys got something weird and creepy going on up there around Ben Hill Road. It's freaking weird and it's damn creepy. Like you guys are. It's like you guys are some freaking children of the corn shit going on. Like you're a bunch of children of the corn up there. Bunch of freaky people with their eyeballs all open, right? Like the hills have eyes, right? You guys are freaking weird. Just saying. Just saying. You're straight up weird. And what the hell's going on that you're so weird? What is going on that you're so weird? You have to have some evil shit happening. You guys wouldn't all be so weird like that. Oh, ain't no corn. There's moonshine and weed. Bullshit. Let me tell you something. There's freaking moonshine and weed all over the world. If they ain't no whole community, they ain't no whole damn community calling each other up every time somebody shows up. They ain't no whole damn community working together to alert everybody that somebody's coming. That's bullshit. You guys are up to more than moonshine and weed. That's for sure. There's some creepy shit going up in there. Like some real creepy shit. That's, you guys are like, Rosemary's Baby community, right? Some Rosemary's Baby community. Where a bunch of freaking witches or something surrounding one another with their eyeballs open, right? Like, just think somebody come in the hell, right? What the fuck? We seen them. We got them. We know. Peekaboo, I see you. What the fuck? Straight up weird. Free flat repair at Hayward Tires. I'm going to tell you something. Nobody got a flat. Nobody had a flat. Why, did you have some nails out there that you felt, that we should run over? Did you have some nails somewhere, Andy, that you felt that we should have ran over? Because nobody was running over any of your your nails that you might have laid down on the road. So, tell Hayworth, even if it's free, we don't need it. Didn't have no flat tires that day. Right? All we had was a flat ass, flat foot Andy B stalking people up in the cemetery. Right? That's what we had. You cracked me up. Yeah. Well, you know what? I hope your cult picked them all up in their tires, right? I hope your Ben Hill cult picked them all up while they were coming out. Well, they can all thank you for it, right? They can all thank you for it. So you're keeping an eye on Timothy's grave, right? You're over there keeping an eye on that grave. You afraid they're going to exhume it any day and find Summer? You afraid she's down in there? I mean, the Wayne Morlock's family's the grave diggers around there, right? That's to my understandings. The Morlocks dig graves. I don't know. I don't, affiliate myself with fucking low life garbage. So I wouldn't know. Right? No, just check your mouth. Bullshit. You seem to be checking your mouth every time. every time someone's around. You seem to be checking your mouth. Like, you know, when Mr. Dobbs came into Ben Hill Road, the first person he seen was Don Wells. And then you and Jodie Sue descends down upon him like a mother freaking, couple of bats out of hell. You come descending down upon him. That allows us to know that Don Wells made a phone call to you. It seems like everybody wants to make a phone calls to Andy when they think somebody's up in the holler, right? You seem to get a phone call. When Dolly was up there, it seems like somebody called you, let you know, and then here comes you and Ryan in there, right? You and Ryan come flying in and catching up with everything. Just saying. And they ain't the only ones. They ain't the only ones. There's other people you guys descend on as well, right, Andy? Yeah. There's a whole lot of dark secrets up in Ben Hill Road, right? And there's a lot of fear, some code of silence. If you talk, you end up like Allison. If you're going to talk, you end up like, Roy Cotton, right? If you talk, you're going to end up like the message has already been sent out, right? The message has been sent out to keep everybody else's mouth shut. But you ain't doing a very good job of it. You're not doing a good job of it because I got quite a few people talking, Andy. Right? Quite a few people. And don't seem to be so afraid of y'all anymore. They're not so afraid of you anymore. Matter of fact, I hear that there's some people talking to law enforcement right now. They're actually talking. They're wiggling that tongue, putting out some stuff. Right? Putting out some stuff. I got like three different people, Andy. And all of them are talking the same stuff. And these are three different people, three different areas, all talking the same stuff. Ain't that strange? Oh, I'm going to tell you, Jodie Sue done told us everything we need to know about you, right? Your old lady already became the scorned bitch and told everything, man. When you scorn an old lady, it's all hell break loose, right? It's all hell break loose, Andy. And you scorned her. You put a ring on another thing. You didn't ever stick one on her, but you ran off and stuck one on somebody else, right? That wasn't the only thing you was a sticking, right? You weren't just sticking a ring on her finger. You're sticking it somewhere else as well. Pissed Jodie Sue off because she had to think about that. You was sticking it where you wasn't sticking it with her. And in more ways than one. All right. And she decided to come out and tell on you about, how you were sedating those little children. You were sedating. He's over there selling stuff to sedate up little girls so they could be touched. Whoa. That came right out of the mouth of what was in your bed at one time, right? Right out of the mouth of what was in your bed. Oh, hell yeah. And then she went as far to say that you even was running your face about how you seen Summer's unlived body. And then your daughter comes out and says, yeah, he was talking to me and Bub, which is the brother, right? That's your son, Bub, right? Is that what you guys call him? I don't know. Because, like I said, I don't hang inside of places like Ben Hill Road. But, you was talking, and it sounds like you might have been talking to your son more than anybody else, because then your old lady comes out and says, hey, that's the reason we sent him off to the military, to get him away from this case. Because of this case. Why would you have to send your son to the military because of this case? If you all were innocent mother freakers, why did you have to run like hell out of the holler Why did Jodie Sue feel that she had to get the hell out as fast as you did and use a ton of people to get it done? And why would you feel that you needed to send your son completely off into the military because you felt that he would have some type of protection there that he wouldn't have out here? That's just fucking strange and weird for people, that are so innocent and had nothing to do with the little girl across the street coming up disappeared, right? Oh, the bullshit. Your old lady said it right on my live. I mean, you can't keep denying the truth, Andy. You can't keep denying the truth that your old lady has already told. You can't keep denying it. No way. I mean, you're like Don Wells. You're like Don Wells. He wanted to talk about his sisters up in Utah because he knows that ain't going to get his ass put in prison. The same way that you just want to talk about, oh, I just sold a little bit of weed. Because you figured that ain't going to get you put in prison. Let's talk about Summer Moon Utah Wells. Let's talk about a little 5-year-old girl that disappeared, and you guys have been doing nothing but acting like you got a dog in the damn race. Let's talk about that, Andy. If you want to come in here and talk, let's talk about that, okay? Why don't we talk about it? Right? Because I'm ready to talk. Oh, Andy says, let's see what he says. Can everyone please let me move past something I didn't have anything to do with? I'm not involved in what happened to Summer Wells. Yes, I sold a gram or two of weed to the parents, but I would never hurt a child. What about the child your old lady said? How about the child that your old lady said that you guys supposedly was getting up everything you could to buy out of the back of a freaking van up there on Ben Hill Road because they were up there with a van selling children? How about that? What happened to that child? Where is that child? Because I didn't see any freaking you're a hero in the paper saving a child out of the back of a van. And I'm sure that would have been freaking newsworthy. And Hawkins County has no recollection of any of you calling you, Andy, nor Jodie Sue, nor any of you guys reporting saving a child out of the back of a van. There's no freaking, paper trail of you guys saving this child with law enforcement. No paper trail of it. Oh, never happened. Never happened. Well, according to your old lady, it did. According to Jodie Sue, it did. Right? Yeah, you and Don Wells just don't seem to have a dog, right? You don't seem to have a dog. That's the way it is with you two. I don't think I know, Andy, I don't think it was bullshit. I don't think it was bullshit when she found out that you married up that woman, up. She's already pissed that you left her for her, but she still had a great hope that you would be back. But once the ring went on the finger, she was scorned, really scorned and pissed off that night. And she said, you go over there and you ask him. You go ask him what he was selling Candace to sedate those children, those little girls, so they could be touched. Not just Summer, but other little girls too. You go ask him. Hey, she told on your ass. She straight up told on your ass. Right? Because at that minute right there, she didn't care if you went to prison or not, Andy. She didn't give a damn at that particular second if you went to jail or not. She told the truth on you. That's what she did. Law enforcement knows it. Law enforcement knows it. If they didn't know it, they wouldn't have went to her door to get her damn confession. They wouldn't have went, right? Jodie Sue, we want to talk to you. They wouldn't have went there. asking about her about what she said. So they know. They know. And at some point, Summer will be found. And anyone and everyone that had anything to do with it is going to mother freaking be sitting in prison. You're going to be sitting in prison, right? Everyone and anyone that had something to do with this missing little girl is going to be in prison. When they find Summer, they're going to find who did it. And that who did it is going to start talking, because you know what? Nobody wants to go to prison for life. So they're going to make a deal. They're going to make a deal, and they're going to start telling on everybody else. And it's going to be a fucking domino effect. And everybody's going to be getting picked up and taken to jail. It's just how it works. It's how it works. And from my understanding, somebody's already calling in some tips, because somebody obviously knows they got a heaven to gain and a hell to shun. Somebody ain't wanting to burn in Hades for, destroying a little innocent 5-year-old child to protect their own freaking nasty ass, right? Somebody's tired of being a big fucking coward and hiding to protect their own ass, right, Andy? I thought for a minute it might have been you, but I guess not. I guess not, because you showed up in here tonight, trying to protect yourself. You still on the defense, right? You're still on the defense. "4 years, and I'm not in jail. And Fred done been there once." Well, what Fred went to jail for had nothing to do with Summer Moon Utah Wells, right? It had nothing to do with Summer. What Fred went to jail for was because, Fred decided to, try to have his own barbecue out in the yard, only he was barbecuing up the wrong thing, right? He was adding some barbecue to, his little laboratory. He wanted to be Dexter, right? He wanted to be Dexter out there. And not Andy B, come cook with me, right? And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think my little friend is intimidated one lick about you seeing. Okay? The point being is you got seen. You got seen, Andy. That's the point. And that point allowed not only myself, but law enforcement to understand that nothing goes on in Ben Hill Road. Nothing goes on in Ben Hill Road that you mother freakers don't see. And that even stabilizes more that Summer was not abducted at all, ever. No way she could have been, the way you people watch out around there. No way. I'm leaving the life surprise birthday party cars. What the fuck? That don't even make no sense. That don't even make that only makes sense in your own head. Only you know what the fuck that means, right? Only you. It's a fucking cryptic message up in your own fucking head, right? Oh, try to figure this one out. Come ring my doorbell. Come ring my doorbell, Andy. Come ring my doorbell. Right? Ain't nobody fucking scared of you. Ain't nobody afraid of you, Andy B. What the hell? You got me bent. Straight up. I see your ass. I seen you run the fuck out of there so damn fast, man. It would make a person's head spin. I seen you get the hell out of there. I don't know who. I don't know who threw up the most smoke. You or Kate or Candace, right? You and that old lady act like you were leaving together, right? You and that freaking old stank up on Ben Hill Road. I don't know who the hell got out of there faster. I think you'd have more reason to, seeing that you have all that radiated shit up there on your property. I want to get the fuck away from that too. But point being, you both ran like hell when this little girl went missing, didn't you? You ran. You ran like the coward you are. Because, you know, you had guilt. You had guilt, man. You have to have guilt to fucking get out of there that quick. You wasn't sitting around wasting no time. Shit man done got that. Bullshit. There ain't no shit man done got that. That shit still sitting up there. That shit's still sitting up there unless you dumped it out. Unless you dumped it out somewhere. It's still freaking stinking up to high heaven. You go up there, man, it's like walking through one of them freaking Ninja Turtle fucking dumps where all the yellow shit's coming up. Some Ghostbuster shit. Where you see shit seeping up out of the ground, freaking glowing in the dark up on that hill. Come on. You kidding me? You've been trespassing and looking, PG? I'm going to tell you something. There ain't no such thing as trespassing up in that shithole. There is no such thing as trespassing up in that shithole. Let me tell you that right now. I don't think anybody owns shit up in there. To be honest with you, I really don't. I don't think nobody owns nothing. I mean, like you guys couldn't own too much. You couldn't own too much when you're running other people out, afraid that they might build something nice and your taxes are going to go up, right? Who in the hell sits around and wants to live in a fucking dump because they're afraid of taxes going up? Really? Seriously? Oh man, I just want to go live in a mother freaking radiated shithole because I'm afraid of taxes. I want to let everything around me freaking rot and collapse so my taxes won't be too much. Hey, let's all move into this community and run it the hell down so that our taxes will be really low. Yeah, that's real freaking educated, right? Let's all live like hell. Let's all live like Sanford and fucking Son so our taxes can be low. What the freak? That's disgusting. That's disgusting. Oh no, I don't want a toilet inside my house because if they think I got a toilet inside the house, the taxes might go up. So we're going to have to keep shitting in an outhouse. Yeah, we're going to have to slide on the ice all the way out there to take a crap. Oh no, I got an idea. Let's just put a big barrel on the side of the porch and we'll shit in that. Right? Oh, great idea. I should have thought of that. I mean, I'm sure that's your guys' conversations up there. Right? That's the extent of your conversations. One person getting jealous because somebody else thought about crapping in a barrel off the porch so they didn't have to slide across the fucking yard into an outhouse. A 3-seater. Like the whole family could take a shit together. Right? Who in the hell does that? Who does that? I don't even know. Yeah, exactly, Night Owl. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to tell you something. These people, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised that a 5-year-old innocent little girl is missing. I am not surprised with the mentality of these people up there. You could tell their mentality by looking at their property. You could tell the mentality of them, by just looking at the ran down shit and the way of their living, right? Because most people want a better life than that. Most people want a better life, right? They want a house where they can actually crap inside and flush a toilet. They want a house where they can actually turn on a sink and wash their hands after they wipe their backside. They actually want a house that they can, take a shower in, right? Oh, let me tell you, honey, they ain't no laying back in the mother freaking jacuzzi or the bathtub out there. There's no laying back with some candles lit, right? And a glass of nice wine and some freaking bubbles coming up over the freaking tub or the jacuzzi, right? No, ain't none of that shit up there. Hell no. They ain't nobody up there carrying no Louis Vuittons, right? Those motherfuckers wearing flip flops. They're packing their money and their cigarettes, their cigarettes in a rolled up sleeve and their money in their back pocket, right? They don't even carry a purse. They ain't got enough shit to put in a purse anyway, right? They ain't got enough stuff to put in a pocketbook, so they don't need one. Yeah. Let me go, I need to go get my nails done. I need to go get my nails done if you live on Ben Hill Road, right? I need to get my nails done. Who's going to see them? The only thing they're using them for is to scratch their freaking ass because they ain't got a tub in the house to take a hot bath in, right? They can't even take a hot freaking bath. Most of them have fucking phobia of water, right? They do a dance. They do a dance anytime a little bit of water's running towards their feet. Like, ooh, back off, don't touch me. How dare you try to touch me? Like Jodie Sue, she says, oh, I was in the creek. I was walking in the creek. She wasn't walking in no water. She's walking in fucking mud. The creek was dried the hell up. At the time Summer went missing, that creek was dried up. There was no water to walk in. Her ass was walking on mother freaking mud, right? A bunch of mud. And the creek, it's funny that it's June and the creek's dried up like that. I probably would have to suspect that there was a barrel of that radiated poo-poo rolled down the hill into the mother freaking creek, stopping the water from being able to get in from wherever it flows from, right? You had a big whopper stopper freaking blocking the water coming into the creek called radiated poo-poo. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. I bet that's it. Let's talk about that, Andy. Let's talk about that because you let Ryan come up there and take all them pictures, and pictures don't lie. Jodie Sue sitting her ass on that mother freaking channel over there, acting like she lived on Knobs Hill. Oh, everybody needs to donate to get my cabin moved, my big cabin moved off of Knobs Hill up there. Oh, my beautiful cabin. It's got, 2 rooms and a beautiful wraparound porch. And we go up there and we see this cabin, right? We see this damn thing, and it looks like if somebody breathed hard enough, the whole damn thing would fall over. It looked like only 2 nails might be holding it together, or possibly some of that radiated crap. It might be afraid to fall because of that radiated crap. I don't know. Or maybe the buckets are holding it up. I didn't look around it, but possibility the buckets are all around it, holding the left of it up in the air. And then it's like, it looked like a mother freaking thrift store outside of clothes, right? There's clothes everywhere. Yeah. Let's talk about Knob's Heel up there. Why don't we talk about it? What a fucking sight for sore eyes. You go up there for the mail. You go up there looking for some mail. I couldn't think of anything important someone could be sending someone up inside of Ben Hill Road. Just couldn't think of it. Yeah, who had somebody up in that attic? Why doesn't he answer that? Right? He wants to talk shit right here. I would never hurt a child. And this way, y'all fuss, scream, even, but make a child. No. If people have questions and I get enough people asking questions, I'm going live one last time for this after it's cooking and things. And then I think it says, my wife, enjoy doing. Thanks. You mean, he means me and my wife, right? Me and my wife enjoy doing things and have a great day, night, or morning. Please love and burn one. What the fuck? Whatever. You mean freaking light one up? You mean light one up? Burn one. I'm going to tell you what you should be up there burning. Some of that stuff that could be causing everybody else issues in our environment, right? I'm going to tell you. Fred Hill, Andy. Fred Hill said that there's no way they come up there and took your radiated shit away, because if they came up there and take your radiated shit away, it would cost a ton of money that you don't have to take your radiated poo-poo out of there. There you go. So you must be hiding it somewhere or dumped it someplace, because nobody be coming up there getting it. There you go. Fred done put it out on you, right? And he said I could say it. He said I could say it because he don't care. He ain't afraid of you. The way Andy Bernard is watching the cemetery across the street, stalking people that's going up in there, I think that she's possibly might be over there. It's very possible she's over there because he was stalking. And I'm telling you, he did show up. He did show up. Yeah. Somebody's calling his ass. Anytime you go into Ben Hill Road, someone's calling Andy Bernard, and he's rushing that ass over there to see who it is. Yes, he is. And that right there tells me that no one came in there and took Summer. Nobody came in Ben Hill Road and took Summer, because them motherfuckers got Ben Hill Road sewed up. They got Ben Hill Road sewed up. Let me tell you that right now. Yeah, he is. He's worried about that cemetery. Absolutely. And there's other people worried about that cemetery too. Or a cemetery. Or a cemetery. I'm going to tell you something, cornbread mafia. I'm going to tell you what, them motherfuckers are all cornbread and beans because they can't afford nothing else. I mean, they probably eat beans 3 times a day. That's how they fill up all those barrels with that crap. I ain't never seen nothing like it, right? But that ain't what I came out here to talk about tonight. I didn't come out here to talk about Andy B stalking people up in the cemetery. That's just a bonus, you guys. You just got a bonus with Andy B, right? That was a bonus for tonight. And you know, I'm not going to say that you know, I didn't appreciate it, because I do. I appreciate it very muchly that, you know, he brought himself in here and just, you know, stabilized even more that nobody's going to come up there and take Summer. So they all know what the fuck happened, right? They all know what happened. That's my opinion. Put a 1 in the chat if it's yours. Because you know, these people are all weird. They all act weird. They all ran off. I mean, come on. That child's case is already solved by these fuckers' actions. They should have all been prosecuted already just on their actions, right? I mean, the law enforcement up there's got to be a special kind of stupid, if you ask me, to not have already, you know, been able to prosecute just on the way these people have acted during this child's disappearance, right? They should have already been able to do more. That's my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. I am entitled to it. This case should have been solved a long time ago. And I believe, you know, I believe it could have been. And I personally believe that, you know, if you did, you know, if you went in there and you assessed it all with law enforcement in Ben Hill Road, you know, up there in Rogersville, if you went in there and did an assessment, you'd find any officer that had any brains at all and really tried to solve cases has probably been fired, right? They've probably been fired, or maybe worse. I don't know, you know, but that's my opinion. Just saying. I don't think they want people that can solve cases. You got some kind of, you know, howdy doody thing going on up there. You got some kind of you know, fuckery going on, right? Basically, that's what you got going on up there. Because law enforcement, you know, wants to be friends with everybody instead of, you know, being what they took an oath to be, a police officer that solves crimes, right? They dropped the ball, and they're not even trying to pick it up, it seems like. It's a very good possibility that they are, Stephanie. Absolutely. Very good possibility. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm gonna tell you. Tennessee is a cesspool, from hell in a lot of areas. And not all of it. Not all of it, but a lot of it. A lot of it is the cesspools from hell. I mean, it's like any place, you know, you got your good places and you got your shitty places, right? You got both. Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Sebastian's case is going the same exact way. I'm going to tell you. Um it used to be, you know, that society law enforcement, the court system, the governments, the people. It used to be that, a society in a whole cared about all people, right? They cared about all people and protect all people. And then it came down to, they started only caring and seeming to protect old people and children. We're going to protect the old and we're going to protect the children. And then they forgot about the old people and just wanted to protect children. And now they don't even want to protect your children, right? They don't even want to protect your children. Matter of fact, they're looking and seeking to, um, destroy them too, if you ask me, one way or another. Your children go to school. They want to tell your kids that it's okay, to, if you're a girl to be a boy, and if you're a boy you can be a girl. That's, no. What is okay to be is a child, and a child shouldn't know anything about boy or girl. They should just know about being a child, right? Playing, having a good time, laughing, being a child. Nothing else should ever be discussed with them. That kind of shit should not even ever come up. It shouldn't even be a topic. But they make it one. They make it one. This world wants to lead everybody to hell. You got a big bunch of people working together to try to lead everyone straight into Hades. And they think they got some right to try to do that. They use bullshit. They use bullshit to isolate parents away from the school buildings. So that they can own up your kid most of the day and steer it in whatever damn direction they please without your knowledge. You don't know what's going on in there because you ain't allowed in there to find out. They use a handful of criminals to lock you out of the school building. Think about that. Think about that. The government is locking you out of all the government buildings that your tax dollars are paying for. And the schools are locking you out of all the schools that your tax dollars pays for. Where the hell is your rights? You are paying to be locked out of everywhere. And they're using a lot of BS to get it done. They're using a handful of bullshit to do it with. And people are falling for it. People are falling for it. Right? Well, I'm going to tell you. They locked, why is the parents, all the parents being locked out of school when here's the real kicker. Here's the real kick in the ass. Why are all of the parents being locked out of school when the person who they're using to lock you out of school usually goes to school there, and that's how everything was able to be done. It's because they went to school in that school. Right? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. But usually the person doing something already works there. They're already on the inside. Right? They're already on the inside. But they use them to keep you from not coming inside. Yeah. Think about that. Think about it. I'm going to tell you, it's not hard to manipulate humans. It's not hard to manipulate them, and it's not hard to lead them in the wrong direction, because everybody's looking to follow someone. Everybody wants to be a part of something. Everybody wants to be part of something. And it's not hard for someone to lead folks in the wrong direction. It ain't hard to lead them in the right direction either. But it ain't hard to lead them in the wrong direction. You know, you got to stop. You got to stop wanting, humans got to stop wanting to follow and start leading. Leading yourself, leading your own mind. I'm not talking about leading other people. Lead yourself. Do your own thinking. Don't let other people think for you. Right? Nobody owns your feelings, and nobody should own your mind. No one should tell you how to think. God gave you a brain, your own brain, for a reason. If God wanted someone else thinking for everyone, he'd have gave only one person a brain and nobody else would have had any, right? He gave everybody a brain, so you start using it for yourself. Start thinking with it. Exercise it. Open your eyes. See the truth. Because that's the only way we're going to stop. We're going to stop allowing people to bullshit us by using bullshit to do it with. You got to think faster than these other people. You got to think faster than those people wanting to manipulate you. And God will let you. God will let you if you want him to. Just saying. And that's what all of these people up there in Ben Hill Road is trying to do. They're trying to, they've been trying to manipulate everybody. They've been trying to act like, they don't know each other. And we find out they all did. They try to act like they're not a fucking group of weirdos. And they definitely are. Right? They definitely are. Just saying. Amen, Chris. Amen. There you go. There you go. I'm going to tell you, I don't let people lead PG around by the nose. Nobody leads me around. I'm not going to be led. I got a brain of my damn own, and I'm going to use it. And I'm going to find the truth. I'm going to find the truth. If I want to know something, I'm going to figure out exactly what's going on. It's just the way it is. Got to do that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bingo, PG. Most people are lonely and they want to fit in. So they're going to go where they think they fit in. Just be yourself and you're going to be just fine. Absolutely. I'm going to tell you something. There ain't nobody in this world need nobody but God Almighty. You don't need anyone but God Almighty and his son, Jesus Christ. That's all you need. I'm going to tell you, that's all you had when you came into this world, right? It's all you had when you came into this world. Because let me tell you something. When you came into this world, your parents didn't have the choice of whether you was going to stay in this world or not. God did. God's the one that formed you. God's the one that allowed you to come out. And God's the one that put the breath of life in you that gave you this life. The only thing your parents did was get to hold you and be the angels that's supposed to watch over you. That's what they got. And to watch over you until you're old enough to watch over yourself. And they're supposed to give you all the tools in this life to succeed when you get old enough. That's what your parents are supposed to do. But I'm going to tell you something. There's going to come a time when you're going to be You're going to be going out of this world by yourself too. You're going to be going out of it. And I'm going to tell you, when that time comes, it's going to be God Almighty taking the breath back that He put in you. It's going to be Him taking that breath away. So who do you think you need in this life to keep that breath going? I'm going to tell you what. The only person you need is God, because that's the only person that can keep you going. Better understand that real quick. And stop following everybody else and start following the Lord. Amen. You got that right. No summer, no peace, girl. I haven't seen nobody put that in chat in a long time. And I appreciate you doing it tonight. God bless. God bless. Absolutely. Hey, I'm going to tell you, I love Australia too. Australia is a beautiful, beautiful soul. I think she's one of my best friends as well. Beautiful lady, beautiful soul, beautiful sunflower. She's a beautiful soul too. And I want you guys to keep her in your prayers, because I ain't seen her in a while. I haven't seen her up in here in a while. I haven't seen her posting lately as well too. I took note. I'm going to check up on her, see if everything's going well and everything. But she was on my mind earlier tonight. She was on my mind earlier tonight, and I want to ask you guys to keep those prayers going up for her, because she is an awesome person. She's a really good person. So please keep those prayers going up for her. She deserves to have them prayers hit in heaven for her. That is so true. She loves these missing kids. She gives her all. She gives her all in all of this. And that's greatly appreciated. Hey girl, I appreciate that. I really do. I really do. Amen. But the reason I came in here tonight is because there is a lot that went on up at Ben Hill Road that none of us knew about. A whole lot of things was going on up there. They had some real dark, deep, dirty little secrets running around up inside that place. And I'm going to tell you, you know, I'm going to tell a few of them tonight, and I'm going to tell a whole lot more in the next few days. You guys know that my freaking loyalty lies with these missing children. You guys know where my loyalty lies. When I came out here, when I first came here, I said, look, I am not out here. I am not out here for no suspects. I will not any way, form, or how support suspects. I told you guys day one that I am for the missing child and only for the missing child. And that is it. If any suspect thinks that PG is going to be all up and loyal to them, you are so wrong. If anyone thinks I'm going to be all loyal and up with them, and they know information about Summer Moon Utah Wells, they're wrong. If they've got any information on any missing child, and they expect me to withhold information, they're wrong. I will not withhold any information that can help a missing child. I'm just putting it out there. I'm just saying it like it is. I am for the missing children. That's what I was put here for, and that is what I will do. It ain't being mean, it's being loyal. It ain't being mean, It's doing what is righteous in the sight of my God. That's what it is. I didn't come out here for anything except these missing kids, and to do all I can to get what information we can get for them to help them and bring them home. That's just how it is. I've always said it, and I will always continue to say it. Now I'm going to tell you guys something. Candace Wells was not up on Ben Hill Road having fake babies and giving them away. She wasn't crapping out kids that nobody knows about and handing them off. We know about every child Candace ever had. But I tell you what she was doing. She was trying to get rid of her children through other people. She was actually making friends with people. If Candace knew, if you were talking to Candace or talking in earshot of Candace about, having issues with getting pregnant and stuff like that, Candace would try to befriend you and offer you up one of her children. Yeah. Did you guys know that? Did you know that? Just put a yes or no in the chat. This is how she turned herself on to some people. That's how Candace was, getting her foot more or less in the door of some humans. Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you something. You know it now. You know it now. I got firsthand information on that. Right out of a horse's mouth. Right out of a horse's mouth, too. Now, I won't out who told me this. But they were offered up one of the children. They was offered up one of the children. We knew about her offering up Summer to Grandma. We knew about her, not wanting Summer. But this was the boy. This was one of the boys she was offering up. Yes, she was. Yeah, it was no surprise. It was no surprise. I mean, it was info we didn't have. And that's what counts. It was info we didn't have. So, this is a person, what this allows us to know is she didn't care all about the boys like she acted as well. Okay? So this allows us to know, that possibly things were going on with the boys as much as it was Summer and other little girls. Because Candace really didn't, she didn't have no loyalty to any of those children. Let it be female or male. Just saying. That's what that allows us to know. And that is a big plus for us. That's a big plus for us because that now would, put a lot of insight on why even the boys were like, let us write the judge. Kind of like Summer saying, help me. Mommy, help me. Please, somebody. When she seen her mom wasn't going to, right? Somebody, help me. Anybody. Please. Can't you help me? Well, the boys were screaming the same thing, you guys. They were screaming the same exact thing when they were screaming, can we see the judge? Can we just please see that judge? Is there anything we can do to keep from going back there? Somebody help us. Will the judge help us? Please. Help us. They were screaming the same exact thing, only in a different form, a different way. And it's something we never thought about. It's something we didn't ever stop and take time to think about. Also, another thing you guys don't know is there is three different people agreeing on one thing. Three different people agreeing on the same thing. And all three of these people are agreeing that Cotton Simpson was online because of what he knew about Summer Wells' case. Three. Not one, not two, but three. And all three of these people live in different areas that are talking. All three of these people very close to this case. Did you guys know that? No. I just found all this out myself. One by one. It took time, but one by one, I'm just putting it all together. Three people. Right? And I'm sure there's more. I'm sure there's more. Because this is a group. This is a group of people. And I'm going to tell you, all of these people are coerced. They're all coerced in Summer's case. Every last one of them. And that allows us to put them in a circle. A very evil circle that surrounded what? What did it surround? I tell you what it surrounded. A lot of innocent children. It surrounded a lot of innocent children and one who is completely missing right now. All of them children were used and abused and in different ways destroyed. Summer's completely gone. But there's so much gone from the other children as well. There's so much gone from them too. They won't ever get back. These children will not ever, they didn't have a childhood. They didn't have a childhood at all. They had a life of hell and misery, pain and sorrow. And they will not ever have a normal life, ever. Because the beginning of their life, where things really count to have a normal life, wasn't normal. So in many ways, they are destroyed too. They are destroyed as well. And like I said, take a look. Take a look at the group of people up here. And honey, that group of people you see up there at the top, that's just a start. That's just a start right there. There's more. There's more than this. There's a lot more than this right here, folks. A lot more. Okay? And let me tell you something. This little girl right there, completely destroyed. She's completely destroyed. And in my opinion, this group of people know. They know. That's my opinion. They mother freaking know, and they got dogs in the race. But there's more. There's more with dogs in the race. Trust me. This ain't all of it. We might have thought it was, but it's not. Just finding that out too. Just finding that out as well. There's more. That'll be coming to you. That'll be coming out to you as well. That'll be coming out as well. But there is more. And let me tell you, Cotton, Roy Cotton, I'm going to tell you, I truly believe that he was destroyed because of what he knew about Summer Moon Utah Wells. You know, at first I had, some, some doubt, because, because behind the scenes, I know a lot of things you guys don't behind the scenes. So I had a little bit of a doubt. But I don't doubt it any longer. When the third person came forth and talked, I said, oh shit. I guess he was. And, and these people being done like this, it's throwing fear. It's throwing fear into others that want to talk, that would like to, would like to report some stuff. But there's another thing, throwing fear into these people as well. The people who would like to talk are not talking, not only because of the fear, because people like Roy Cotton is, is being silenced for what he knows, but also they don't trust the law enforcement around there. They don't know who all is in this. They're in it too. But they don't know everybody else that is in it. And they're afraid. So, with that being said, some people don't pay enough attention to get to know everything because they were too busy, getting their share of whatever and living their life, and they wasn't really paying enough attention. And now that a child has completely disappeared and all of this is, blowed up the way it has, now they are starting to, look back on things and they're being intimidated, right? They're being intimidated now because there's a lot they do know, but there's a lot they don't know. And what they don't know puts them in fear of who they can trust to talk to and who they can't. So with that being said, that's a problem. Just saying. The other guy at the bottom, the other guy back here at the bottom is Wayne Morlock. That's Wayne Morlock. He's the one that's got the family who are grave diggers. There's also something else I took note about Mr. Morlock, but I'm not bringing it out right now. We've got Cotton Simpson. He's one of the last to be on live. And like I said, a lot of people think it's due to the information he had on Summer's case. We had Marlena's dad, who, yeah, he did have some issues going on, but seemed like right after Don Wells talked to him, he didn't have any more issues because he was on live, right? We have Jose. As soon as they figured out where he was, on live. We have Leslie, Allison's friend, who, was talking to Allison. Some shit went up in the air between Hunter's girlfriend's mom and Leslie and Allison. And next thing you know, Leslie's gone. And then Allison has some issues and she's gone too, exactly the same way Leslie went out. Candace and them didn't really ever care about Allison. It was her children they were interested in, right? Take a look at the picture, because it was their children they were interested in, right? And, with Leslie and Allison, the one thing they had in common was Hunter. The one thing that Summer's case has in common is Hunter at the swimming hole that day, sucking up on twisted teas, God knows what else, and Candace being there to coach him to do whatever, in my opinion, was done to put Summer on those milk jugs, right? To put her on those milk jugs. Just saying. Sad. Absolutely sad. You have Don, Candace, and Grandis, who I truly believe work together for some God-known reason. To destroy a 5-year-old child, an innocent 5-year-old child. And this isn't the only people who have been destroyed within Summer's case. They ain't the only ones who have been destroyed, right? There's others. There's others who came up on live after Summer came up missing. There's others who came up on live as well. I do not know who is in the back chat, but I can't bring you up because you didn't come in the right way. You would have to go back out, take the link, and try to come in again. I'll put the link in the chat for you. There's something wrong. There's something wrong with your I can't see your avatar. You're just like there's just like nothing. So you need to go out and then come back. But yes. You know, she didn't deserve, she did not deserve what they did to her. She did not deserve what they done to her. Absolutely not. But Allison didn't deserve what happened to her. Leslie, whatever happened to her, you know, not Jose, all of these people are victims to this case. They're all victims to this case. Cotton is a victim to this case. Marlena's dad, Mr. Crawford, a victim to this case. Jose, victim to this case. And Don Wells cannot say that he does not. This is another thing. Don Wells cannot say that he does not know Cotton because Cotton was very good friends with Marlena Crawford's dad. Did you guys know that? He was very good friends with Marlena's dad, and Don Wells worked. Don Wells worked with Marlena Crawford's dad. Before he started drywalling, he was working with Marlena Crawford's dad. He worked, yes. And he knew everybody that Marlena's dad knew, which was Cotton as well. And that's how Marlena met Candace, was Don Wells working for her dad and with him. So I don't know if you guys knew that. But yes, that's a little insight as well. Um well, Marlena has tried to drop away from all of this. She's tried to drop away from all of this BS. All of this has caused her a lot of issues. Candace was not her friend, right? Candace was not her friend. Um, Candace, Chad Arnold. Chad Arnold is Marlena Crawford's brother-in-law. Did you guys know that? Did you know that Chad Arnold is Marlena Crawford's brother-in-law? Yes, he is. The one that came in Ben Hill Road and caught Candace down at Fred's house. That is Marlena Crawford's brother-in-law. That's another thing a lot of people didn't know. But she's just trying, this case has caused her a lot of hell and a lot of havoc. And she has just, basically tried to steer clear, and so forth. But the one thing I took note of is she was script up as well. She was script up as well. Like Don Wells, like Donald, like Candace, like Grandis. All of these people were script. All of them. Why? Andy, Jodie Sue. They're all script. This whole group is script. That's why you want to talk to them. You want to talk to them because you get, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for if they're a minus or a plus to the case. I'm finding that they're pluses. Most of who I talk to, some of them are minuses. But a lot of the people like Frank Light and his brother, his family, they're minuses. They are minuses in Summer's case. Right? But Andy, Jodie Sue, Marina, Jose, all of these people are pluses. They're pluses in Summer's case. What I'm saying is all of them had a, all of them have a, what am I looking for? The word knowledge. All of them had knowledge of what was going on, the abuse, the neglect, you know, all of these things. They had all this knowledge of all of what was going on up on that hill. They all had the knowledge, of the use and abuse and, and all of this stuff that was going on. They, yes, they shared, even Jose. He didn't get Summer no help. He could have early on, but he didn't. Even Jose had knowledge of the shower and the bullshit going on. But he chose not to bring it up to law enforcement and not to get Summer help because, he didn't want to get kicked off the hill. He didn't, he had no place to go. So he just wanted to let it go and just, and just everything be okay for himself. He was seeking self gain instead of, righteousness for this child's sake. Just saying. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. As you can see, there's no way in hell anyone came up on that hill and abducted anything. They didn't come up there and abduct nothing. For one, there was nothing up there for them to really be up there for, right? There's nothing up there for them to be. I mean, it's a half a day walk just up that fucking driveway to the house. And if you got there, you're going to be tired as hell. You're going to be tired as hell, and you're probably going to be limping. You're probably going to be limping from stepping in the fucking ruts and spraining your ankle and busting yourself up trying to get up there, right? I mean, it's a job to take the driveway. Forget going up a side of the hill. You can forget going up a side of the hill. Just going up the driveway would be a chore. And nobody's going to be going up there. Because these people are all piss ass poor. They don't have nothing to go up there for. So that's bullshit. But more so than anything else, nobody's going up there because you have a mother dog and her pups right there under the house by the basement door. You also have Grandma and Candace sitting right there at that camper. And as you can see, they're at the door of the camper. They can see straight down through there. And you can see that by the basement door, you can see right up to them as well. There's nobody coming up there. They were right there hearing and seeing everything. No one came around there. Not to mention there was a shit ton of other dogs all over the place also that bark and carry on if anyone comes around. So no one came up there. Absolutely not. And if you would look at Don Wells' face when the dog barked in the video with the news, it was wrote all over his face, "Oh shit." Oh shit was all over his face when that dog barked. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with me. Because that's exactly what the face I saw was. Oh shit. As soon as that dog barked, he's like, oh, even his eyeballs made that move. Even his eyeballs made the damn it, we're busted. I seen it plain as day. I'm going to tell you, these some guilty motherfuckers right there, in my opinion. I don't care what anybody says. You don't have to look no farther than Ben Hill Road to figure out who did what to Summer. And that's the truth. And why this case ain't been solved, I don't know. I don't know. Makes me wonder. Makes me wonder. But also, when the dog barked, Candace was doing her little interview. The dog barked. She looked the same damn way as Don Wells did. When that dog barked, she got the old, it was like she held her breath. This mother freaking woman, I'm going to tell you, the dog went burp, and it looked like she held her breath like, oh shit. Same thing. Gave herself out when that dog barked. And then when they slammed the door, she went to looking for that sound. She went to looking to see who slammed something. And that let everybody know that, oh, grandma's got big ears, better to hear you with, right? Big eyes, better to see you with. Oh, grandma was coherent as hell up there on that hill. Nobody came around there. Nobody came around there. That's bullshit. I'm going to tell you, one of them needs to come around, all right? One of them needs to come around and tell the truth of what happened to Summer Moon Utah Wells. Because all of these mother freakers know, in my opinion, and one of them need to start telling the truth for her. One of them needs to find God and start telling the truth. Because I'm going to tell you what, God's watching. God's watching. And I hate to say it, but they better hope that they can tell the truth. Because I'm going to tell you right now, God may have something more in store for them. He might have something more. Because if God wanted Summer found, she'd be found. I think God's given these evil people an opportunity. I think he's given one of them an opportunity to step up and speak up. And if they don't, they'll end up where all the rest are. They better remember the rich man that ended up in hell. And Lazarus in the arms of the angel. And the rich man said, let me go back and warn my brothers. And the Lord said, oh, no, you ain't. Right? No, you're not going back and warning nobody. They're just as evil as you, and they're going to end up in the same place you are. You ain't going back there. These people better be careful. Or they might end up like that rich man and his brothers. All in the same place. Not liking it. Not liking it. Hey, I'm bringing you up, girl. What's up?
I'm on my PG. Hello, everybody.
Your camera's open again. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, girl.
Okay, I had to turn TV down because he was in there watching wrestling, so I had to turn it down.
Hey, how's he doing? How's he doing?
He's doing really good. He is. He's healing
Hey,
a lot better, eating a
God
little bit
bless.
more. The doctors allowed it.
Amen.
Thank you for always asking. Thank you all for the prayers, always.
Hey, girl. Here we love everybody. We love everybody. We all
Yes.
pray. Family that prays together stays together.
Well, I'm telling you,
That's
I think them dogs was scared of Dawn and Candace and Grandis and everybody came up around that hill, too. Just as
oh,
scared as
yes.
Summer was.
Yes. Absolutely. I'm going to tell you something.
Yes.
Nobody would have came around there. Nobody that came around there. Absolutely not. And these people
I
have
think
all.
Sorry for interrupting.
Go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
I just think they all stood around close by and watched it happen. And there's a lot of people in the game that done it. They all watched while they did it to Summer.
I agree. I agree. I absolutely agree.
And you asked Monster Andy. Go ahead, sorry.
I think Jodie Sue told the truth when she said that Andy was selling stuff to sedate those kids. I think that's the
Yes.
dog he had in the race. Maybe,
Yes.
maybe a little more than that. Maybe a little more than that. I don't know.
Oh,
And you know, I think that Don and Candace and Grandis was up there running a full blown child trafficking situation.
yes.
Allowing them kids to be touched, just like Jodie Sue said.
Yep.
That's my opinion, and I believe that to save their own asses, something went wrong, and to save their own asses, they destroyed that little girl, and that's my opinion as
Yes.
well.
I believe it.
And
I
and I
believe it.
believe that they're a bunch of fucking cowards, that did what they did to save their asses from going to prison. You know, that's just how I feel. That's what I think. And to be honest with you, the only thing we got to figure out is where in God's name did they put this little girl? Where did they put her?
Right.
You know,
That
and
cemetery still bothers me.
seeing that Andy was stalking people over there, because just recently, the cemetery was being checked out, and Andy Bernard
Right.
comes stalking. He comes a stalking in there, and he wanted me to know that he saw my friend. Well, I wanted to know if he
Right.
saw me, right? Because he got seen.
Right.
He got seen, and
Right. Oh,
if it
he's
was, I don't know if it was. You couldn't really see. You really couldn't see in the truck. The SUV he was in, the blue,
right.
the two-tone blue SUV that was being driven. You really couldn't tell who was
Right.
inside of it. So I don't know if it was Andy inside of it or not, because you really couldn't tell. But it
Probably
was
him and Ryan.
somebody that it was somebody. No, it wasn't Ryan's vehicle. It wasn't Ryan's vehicle. It was
Was it not?
a two-toned. It was a two-toned, dark blue, light blue, dark blue SUV that was being drove.
Right.
Um, and you couldn't really tell who was in it, but they was hanging around for 15 to 20 minutes, watching.
Right. But he was checking his mail. Why are you checking your mail at the cemetery, Andy B? You monster.
Right. Yeah. What he's, and not only that, but the cemeteries, when you go in, it's up on a hill. It's not as
Right.
high as it's not as high as the Wells house, the Wells house over there. But
Right.
it is up on a hill, and so if he was just checking his mail and coming back out, um, you know, he wouldn't have really knew you were in the cemetery anyway. He had
Right.
to
How
been,
close is that?
somebody had to
Sorry, go
be
ahead.
stalking. I mean, somebody, they had to be stalking.
Right. Have they checked Andy's mom and dad's property?
Who? Law enforcement?
Yeah.
No, no. Law enforcement didn't check Andy Bernard's and their property because they refused to be checked. They were checking their own property.
Oh.
See, Ronnie Lawson came up there, and he didn't have people going and checking everybody's property. Ronnie Lawson came up there and asked people to check their own property. He had a small group of people out there searching for Summer. It was an isolated search. It was, of people, out there. I mean, what I'm saying is Ronnie Lawson was not asking for all the help he could get to find this child. He wasn't diligently going, really, um, he wasn't calling in everyone he could to cover all the ground, like everybody's ground, to make sure. Here's my thing. You know, if a child comes missing in a place like that, then first off, you get everyone together that's going to volunteer to look, and you have these volunteers cover everyone's property. Because if you ain't got nothing to hide and law enforcement comes and you say yes, and they say a 5-year-old child's missing, is it okay if we search your property? Of course you're going to let them.
Hell yes.
Hey,
Yes.
absolutely. Check everywhere, you know. Matter of fact, let me put on a cup of coffee, and make some ice water and whatever, lemonade or whatever up, right? Maybe some soda
Feed
pop.
them too. Yes. Let
Yeah,
them look.
and while you're searching and looking, you're welcome to come in. You're welcome to come in the house and have something, something to drink, and maybe some snack to eat, and absolutely, it's hot as hell out there. Definitely, you're going to open your doors and you're going to let law enforcement have at it, because you want
Yes.
that child found. And the thing is, you're going to have a notepad, and anybody that says no, you ain't checking this property, well, you're going to write that damn name down, and you're going to get a court order to check it, because that could be
Yes.
where the kid is. What you need to tell the person, okay, that's fine, I'll get a court order. I don't know what you got on the property, but you better get it the hell off. Well, you're
Right.
going to have about 15 minutes here, because we got a judge already waiting for anyone like you that's going to sign off. And in 15 minutes, we're going to be all over your place. So you got
That's
15
right.
damn minutes. And that's the way it should have
Hell,
been
we
being.
even give them 15 minutes.
15 damn minutes, and we're going to be swarming your property with a warrant.
Yep.
Right? That's all
That's
it
right.
takes. And in a small place like that, man, you've got plenty of judges that can be, signing off for you to be up there searching that damn property. No doubt in my
Right.
mind, especially for a
And-
5-year-old missing child.
Right. And it's funny that, Don just went to jail just for DUI. Is he working with them? Is he being a narc for 'em? It's something's
I
just not
think,
making sense.
well, actually, Don wouldn't have did no time in jail if it wasn't for Doug. If it wasn't for Doug, no thanks.
Right.
On calling in on his ass and getting him caught by law enforcement, and
Good.
then put in jail. So if it wasn't, we wouldn't even have got that little bit of justice if it wouldn't have been
Right.
for no thanks.
Right. And the littlest boy endured just as much as Summer, but thank God he didn't end up dead. Don
Oh yeah.
laughing at him because he dresses him like a little girl. It's not funny. Them kids
Mm,
endured so much.
I'm going to tell you, there was a whole lot of dark secrets that people did not know that was going on up there on Ben Hill Road. A lot of dark secrets. I'm going to tell you,
Candace wanted to be
I
young
mean,
and
some
stupid.
really evil shit, some really evil stuff was going on. There's a whole lot of stuff that, it's just now being brought to light, coming to the surface, that, pertained to this place and this particular case.
Right. It's sickening.
It is, in every aspect of the word, it is sickening. And, I just can't see how justice has not been served, to be perfectly
Right.
honest with you. And we're coming
I
up on 4 years. We're coming up on 4 years. And when that 4-year mark, well, I hear they got a tip. They are following this lead right now. Is it going to lead to something? I don't know.
at the
Hopefully,
cemetery.
hopefully it does. Hopefully it leads to something. I think they're going to try. Maybe they're following it because they know the 4-year mark is coming up, and a lot of questions are going to be asked. Like, number one, if you ain't able to do nothing, why ain't you put it in the cold case? Let them pick it up and solve it because you dropped the ball on
Yes.
it. Obviously, you're not interested in solving it. You haven't solved it in 4 years. Why are you hanging on to it? Is it because you don't want to look bad because you did drop the ball and you don't want anyone knowing how bad it was dropped?
Right. And did the
You
junkyard ever
know?
get checked?
Or is it because of protection? Is it because of
Right.
protection? Is there people involved in something that they don't want spread it out there? I don't know. I don't know. In my opinion, something's fucking fishy with them holding on to it for so
Right.
long, and
Right.
not
They
and
don't
not
want
really
someone
doing
finding
nothing to
answers.
solve it. Right.
Nope.
Because Ronnie Lawson, man, he's like, I promise that I am going to solve this case. Well, Ronnie, you lied to. You lied to all of
Does
us,
his
but
boy
most of
have
all,
something in
you
on it
lied.
too? I wonder. Makes you
You
wonder.
Well, he lied to God Almighty in the sight of God Almighty too, right? And what does the Bible
Yes.
say? What does the Bible say? The Bible says that Satan's the father of all liars. Ronnie lied. He
Yes.
lied. He didn't solve her case, right? He didn't solve her case like he told us he would. And I'm
Nope.
very
He's not
disappointed.
interested.
I'm very disappointed, girl.
I am.
I'm,
It's
I'm
sickening
very
that 4 years
disappointed
is
that
coming up.
I'm going to tell you, a man's only as good as his word. A man is
That's right.
only as good as his word. And his word wasn't good. It wasn't good.
Nope. And who did they ever tell whose horse that was running that day when Summer came up missing?
And that was Frank Light's brother's horse. That wasn't
No
Frank
way.
Light's horse. It was his brother's horse that came down through there.
Oh. Mm.
Yeah.
That was very weird.
And I think that was a sign. I think that was a sign early on that I think that was a sign early on that Summer wasn't alive on the milk jugs. I think that horse was a
I was gonna
sign that
say that
that, that it
she
went
was running
down. It went
free.
down at the
No
horse
more
pond.
pain or enduring nothing. Yep.
Yeah, I think it was a sign that it happened at the horse pond. That's what I think.
Yep.
Just saying. That's
And
my
Don B's been out there searching.
opinion. Yeah.
I'm hoping he goes
But
up by the
they had
cemetery because I told him.
you got a 45-minute window, a 45-minute window of where they could have put her. A 45-minute window.
I say in the
Between
woods.
the time that, Candace arrived home and she was busted. And she was busted at Fred Hill's house. There's a
Right.
45-minute window. Now you got to, how far could you get and then get back in 45 minutes? How far
Right.
could you get away and then be back in 45 minutes? Well,
Not far.
no, because it would be 10 minutes there, 10 minutes back, and it would take you about 20 minutes to do something with someone that, to cover things up. It's going to take you at least 15 to 20 minutes to hide, to really hide someone like that, because you're going to be paranoid as hell that if you don't hide it good, it's going to be found.
Right.
So, or else, the text, it's done could have meant that, there's a place already waiting on her. Okay, it's done. Come back this way, and the place is already ready, you know.
Right. And she was seen coming out of the woods the next day, I think it was, or day after.
Right, absolutely.
I
And
keep asking God, please let them tell. Let them tell where Summer's at. Let her lay to rest.
well,
But they're not going to.
God don't work on our time. God works on his
No.
time. You know, I
Amen.
mean, one day to God, 1,000 years is one day, and one day is 1,000 years to God. So God works on his own time. And the Bible plainly tells us, that patience is a gift. If you have patience, it's a very big gift to you,
Right.
from God. So you got to, I'm a very patient person. I'm a very, very patient human being. I Was I always? No, but I learned to be very quickly, to be patient, you know. One thing my
Right.
parents One thing my parents could teach you was your ass better be patient. You better be patient. I mean, you learned you learned to wait forever and a day. Right?
Right.
With
Right.
your mouth shut. You was glad to be waiting. But you know, the point being is you have to, you have to be a patient person. God isn't working, you know, God doesn't do what
He's not working on our time. He's working his time.
exactly. He doesn't, he doesn't do what we want. He does what he wants, and he does he's doing what's best for Summer. He's not doing what's
Right.
best for us. He's doing what's best for her. And we don't know where Summer is, but God does. Right? He does. He absolutely knows
Right.
where she's at. And I don't question up God. I just try to understand that, hey, when he wants her to be found, she will. He's got a reason. He's got a reason for not letting her be found yet. And
Right.
it could, for me, I think he's trying to give someone an opportunity to, become righteous with this child's case. Like I
Right.
said,
Come forward and tell.
right, the rich man went to hell. He wanted to warn his brothers, but he wasn't able to. And
Nope.
because
Not allowed.
they were as bad, God didn't like them no more than he liked that guy, right?
Right.
So, you know, what I'm trying to say is, I think somebody might have an opportunity not to end up where the rest of them's going to be, but maybe they're not taking heed to it. Maybe they're not, maybe they're not taking heed to it. Maybe God's giving them a little extra time because they're mulling all of this over. Maybe they want to, but they're afraid. Something's holding it up. But I
Right.
guarantee you, gotta only work with people so long, and then he turns away, and then he'll do what he wants. And I think at that point, he'll let Summer be found. So
Yeah. I think she'll be found at that grave. I don't know. I just,
I truly believe she's going to be found. Absolutely. I truly believe she
I
will be
do.
found at some point. No doubt in my mind, she won't be
And it
found.
made me mad that Andy wouldn't come answer the questions. I said, I'll even go up on panel. I want to know why that TV was not dusty. What was you all watching? Who was watching? Why? Because you didn't want nobody seeing that TV. You got awful scared.
I know for a fact I know for a fact that was Frank Light's brother's horse, because when I called the Light brothers, when I made the phone call into their home, I was told that was the brother's horse. The Lights told me that was the brother's horse. That's how I
Right.
know. It came right from the Lights. Um, and that's how I also knew that Frank Light was out working. He was working that day with a big group of people, and because law enforcement did check, and Frank Light had an alibi. He was working with a lot of, not just family, but a lot of people that wasn't family as well, and they were all working
Right.
together. And he was there the whole time that day. So there's no way he could have done anything. Um,
Right.
you know,
We just all got to
I
be patient.
yeah, we got to be. I mean, I think God has let us. I think God has let us understand everything that went down up to the video was taken. We just don't
Right.
know what happened to her after the video. And
Right.
and we got to thank God for that. I mean, he's brought us a long ways with understanding Summer's case. Now we just got to keep praying that she's found, right? We just got to keep
Right.
praying that she's found. And at some point, you know, God answers prayers, you guys. He answers prayers.
Yep, he
Sometimes,
does.
We got to remember no is an answer too. No is an answer too. But we got to keep praying because at some point, when God don't give you something, it's only because he's got something better. He's got
Got something
something
bigger
better
and better.
waiting. So, um, we just got to wait. We got to wait. We got to find out, we'll find out what that better is. We
Yeah.
just have to be patient and we will be. We will be. But
And
we're
I'd like to
finding
know what kind of right. I like to know what kind of rugs that old Andy B was given to them wells to sedate them kids. Wish he'd come
Jodie
up on
Sue.
panel and tell us.
Jodie Sue probably didn't tell because it may have been something that she was getting prescribed to her by the doctor.
When
We
she
don't
had
know.
cancer. Yeah, true.
If she told what it was, it could have incriminated her. Right?
Because that would get her in trouble. That would get her in so much trouble too.
Absolutely. Well,
I
girl,
know
I'm gonna.
Dudley. Someone said Dudley passed away. He's friends with me on Messenger, and he was just on there just like a couple of days ago.
They said Dudley passed away.
Yeah, I think it was YLIVA or something like that. I can't remember the screen name, but yeah, I'm like, no.
Yeah,
And I
I don't.
looked, and I looked in Virginia part. No, I did not see no obituary for
Um.
Dudley.
Well, I have some phone numbers to some of his family, so I'll make sure
Right,
I check. I'll call them. I'll call and ask on that. I'll check that out.
right. Well, I'm gonna say
I,
prayers to you all, prayers to you, Mama PG, and your family. Prayers, Australia, my blessing friend. Love you all, and I'm gonna jump down real fast.
hey, girl, I appreciate your
You're
prayers.
welcome.
God bless, girl.
You too.
Hey, listen, you guys. PG is going to go out of here. It's been some night in here tonight, right? It's been some night in here tonight. Andy B showing up. Extra bonus there, right? Extra bonus there. And he ran away. He ran away. He don't want to the reason he wants to have a live on his channel, I tell you what, the reason Andy B wants to have a live over on his channel is so he can mother free. He don't want to answer hard questions. He wants to control the narrative. He wants to control the freaking narrative. He wants to be able to time you out if you're not saying what he wants you to say. He wants to be able to block people, if he don't want to answer what you're asking. He wants to control the shit. He comes in here and he don't want to answer the hard questions. He runs off, right? So, if he's not going to answer them on someone else's live, he's sure in the hell not going to answer them on his, right? That's bullshit. He's just looking for a way to try to build, to get people, try to get his click, likes, and views, trying to get, a few bucks thrown to him through super stickers, chats, Venmo, PayPals, and Cash Apps, like, before. And he's trying to, entice people to come and start watching his shitty ass cooking channel, which I wouldn't do. He's a suspect in a 5-year-old little girl's missing case. He's a suspect, whether he likes it or not. And his old lady has already incriminated him with sedating little girls to be touched. I'm not going to watch a cooking channel where his ex came out and said go ask him what he was giving to this woman to sedate these little girls to be touched. I'm not going to watch a channel where someone, is a suspect in a little girl's disappearance and also supposedly was the last one to see her on live body. I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going somewhere where he wants to control the narrative because he don't truly want to answer the hard fucking questions. I don't play that bullshit. I don't play that bullshit and I don't support that bullshit. So there you go, Andy. There you go. Grand finale out of here tonight, right? The grand finale out of here tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, that's all I got to say to Andy B. I hope he enjoyed it. And PG is going to get out of here because PG is tired. I've been putting in a lot of overtime, you guys. I've been putting in a lot of overtime in every way on this case and every other way. And it sucks. And it sucks. So, because I'm wore out. I'm wore out. I'm absolutely, I'm tired as hell, to say the least. I'm tired as hell. And, something I'm usually not. Something I'm usually not. And as you guys can tell, I'm a little on edge. Excuse me, for being on edge, but I'm just really, really tired. You guys don't know how many hours that I put in to all the things I do. I can't do things half-ass. I can't do nothing half-ass. I've got to do all or none. And I'm sure you guys understand that. I'm sure there's a lot of you that have to do all or none. Put a 1 in the chat if you know what I'm talking about, where you just have to do everything or nothing. And it really wears you out. It makes you super freaking tired because you give everything your all, and you become grouchy. You become a little grouchy, right? Because you ain't had no sleep. You ain't had, no freaking on time for anything else. And I usually don't ever get this way, but I have been burning that candle at both ends, and it's just been a lot. It's been a lot. It's taken a lot out of me, and to say the least. And I've got a lot of other things going on. I'd love to tell you. I would love to share, but I can't. But please keep me in mind in your prayers. Keep us in your prayers, because we need them. We need your prayers. So keep us in your prayers. I usually don't ask for prayers because I'd rather them go to Summer and the missing kids and other people, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to step up this time and swallow some of my pride and say, hey, please put those prayers up for PG and my family right now. All right, everybody. Good night. Much love. God bless.